Sonic Super Special Issue 13. It's weird that only just now is this called the Sonic Adventure adaptation when we saw several scenes beforehand that were straight up based on Adventure 1 cutscenes for a few issues now. The mayor shakes Sonic's hand for beating Chaos Zero, and he says that the water monster sounds like an old legend his grandpa used to scare him with in childhood involving perfect chaos. He says that it might have something to do with the ancient ruins outside the city, and Nate asks where Amy is, and it's revealed they haven't seen her since yesterday afternoon. That's a shame, you know? She wanted to prove herself as an official freedom fighter and she immediately gets kidnapped. Sonic gets the feeling that Amy's disappearance and the water monster are somehow connected by Eggman, but it could have just as easily been two different builds working separately. And Sally calls the mayor Your Honor as if he's a judge for some reason, and temporarily splits the freedom fighters into three teams. First we see Bunny and Antoine together, and Bunny lifts him up and uses her extendable legs to get a better view of the city. I wonder why he said sacre fur, since the word fur doesn't really mean anything in French. It's only using the expression that's a replacement for as something's happening. I think it's au fur et à mesure. Antoine reveals that they haven't forgotten he's a coward by being nervous from being so high up, and starts searching with his binoculars, while Nate, Nicole, and Sally research Perfect Chaos's legend at the public library. Oh great, they find a book with an ancient language, and Nicole magically is able to translate it through the power of bullshit. It's in Old Echidnaese. Wait, if there's an Echidnaese, why do all the Echidnas speak perfect English? Nicole reads about a nomadic tribe of Echidnas who once settled in a nearby valley, and the natives of the land, the Chow, wait, they consider mere pets to be natives? And worshipping a god? How do pets like Chow have the sentience and stuff to be able to form a religion? Maybe it's just misinterpreted that way by people. It's weird how the book conveniently leaves out why Perfect Chaos decided to attack the Echidnas, and why the Echidnas were even there. It's explained that the Chow absorbed Chaos's energies, and were themselves transformed into 7 Super Emeralds, the only existing ones on Mobius, which were then dispersed around the globe like Dragon Balls. This is pretty interesting. So the Super Emeralds used to be Chow, and then they were transformed into inanimate objects that can't move or anything. That must suck. Sally then confuses me by, oh wait, maybe she means Amy has energy for Robotnik in the sense that she had used the Ring of Acorns to get a transformation to the modern design. Then we get Sonic riding the tornado with Tails, telling him that the mystic ruins the mayor mentioned are their best bet. Then they land near Knuckles, who has a creepy smirk, as well as a green light near him that they ask about. They all then get into a fight with Chaos, who absorbs 2 of Knuckles' emeralds. So the comic doesn't have her time wasted with Knuckles fighting Sonic to be gullible enough to be fooled by Eggman, which is good for his character. Then Tails realizes that the green rocks in the field look more like pieces from the Master Emerald, and decides to collect them. Huh, Tails doing the treasure hunting. I can imagine he'd be just as good at it as Knuckles, thanks to the Sonic world making him a great treasure hunter and all. Unfortunately, rather than being allowed to be useful, Tails trips and the emerald shards he got fall right into Eggman's hands, with him saying some lines from the games that were in the game reserved for Chaos Emeralds. Eggman's line where he says he'll destroy the hidden city of the ancients is much more awkward than simply saying he'll destroy Station Square like in the game, because it takes longer for him to say. Why does he even have to destroy it? Why waste perfectly good buildings and stuff? He didn't destroy Mopotropolis. Tails makes use of his tail, spinning them right behind him to send a huge amount of sand behind him at full force, and Sonic uses the intense friction from super speed to heat individual sand particles, which creates a glass prison for Chaos, since, you know, glass is made out of superheated sand. This is a really creative way of taking advantage of Tails and Sonic's powers. As I expected though, the glass prison is broken literally seconds later, and Chaos and Eggman leave, with Eggman saying, "Goodbye forever! Until we meet again, my friends," which makes no sense. He was better off saying au revoir, meaning see you later, if he was going to meet them again. He just made a fool of himself. And then several hundred yards away, Big is fishing in a lake thinking about how he followed the scent trail of Gammas to this river, but the trail ended there. It makes sense that he could follow the scent, being a Mobian and all. To his surprise, the egg carrier rises out of the lake that Big's canoe was on. Well, he said it was a river, but it looks more like a lake to me. It makes more sense for him to hide his ship underwater than near the mystic ruins. But what doesn't make sense is that they have him bragging about his flying masterpiece to no one, when at least in the games he was talking to Sonic and Tails. Then we see Tails and Sonic flying the now all of a sudden blue and yellow biplane while Tails says the egg carrier is dead ahead. How would he know its name? And really, they skipped right past the original tornado being shot down and the much better looking cyclone being built? While it was sort of filler, the whole they go into the sky twice thing. But Tails being separated from Sonic was supposed to be a sort of I'm doing stuff on my own thing. I guess Nate built this new plane? Or did they give the old tornado a paint job? Tails dodges the missiles in the plane as they land, which is certainly more exciting than in the game. And then Sonic somehow correctly guesses that there's no landing gear in this mode. That was much better in the game because Sonic had no reason to know this, but here they just have Sonic inexplicably guess it for no reason to make him look good. Then we see Knuckles calling Eggman the Eggman in his monologue as a derisive insult, I guess, but the Eggman part isn't bolded or anything. And he reflects on how he learned that Eggman was using the Master Emerald to resurrect a water demon. Wait, why don't we get to hear what Tikal says? Instead, they have Knuckles parrot her speech back to her, saying that they have to warn the hidden city of Eggman's approach. But why would Tikal even know about the hidden human city in the first place? Then Eggman on his egg carrier brags that it can transform into a drill to head right through a mountain towards the hidden city. Sonic finds a switch on the bridge to resume the monorail operation of the egg carrier and change it back to its original shape. Gamma and Sonic fight, as Gamma was probably feeling bad about betraying Eggman and wanted to secretly make it up to him. And then we see Knuckles being given a vision by Tikal, I guess, of Sonic and Tails approaching Eggman's aircraft, with Tails' plane being powered by a Super Emerald. And this in particular makes Knuckles worried because they're making a special delivery to Chaos without even knowing it. Also, did he have to use the word homies? I cringe just at seeing it. It's bad enough Vector says it. Hopefully that slang will go the way of Mondo. Knuckles then shocked at being warped to Eggman's flying fortress by Tikal, and Sonic reflects the laser back at Gamma to creatively attack him. Then Amy steps in defending Gamma for helping her escape, and we see Big reunite with Froggy without having to fish. Not even fish him out of Chaos, which is good. In a new turn of events, Froggy coughs up a Super Emerald. I assume these are both Super Emeralds because they're colored something other than green, when Chaos Emeralds so far have always been colored green. But it's not. And Big says that the one he coughed up looks just like the one he found earlier. So apparently in the comic universe, Big the Cat is colorblind, and thinks pink and blue look exactly the same. Then Eggman orders Chaos to get Froggy, saying that it's possessed by his tail and he'll become stronger, which confuses the hell out of me because I thought the entire point of him putting Froggy in that thing absorbing his energy was that it would depossess him, getting the Chaos energy out of him. But no, instead we keep this confusing plot point because it was in the game. After Eggman throws an emerald into Chaos, and Tails says, "Hey, ship is losing altitude," with no the or this in the sentence, Sonic tells Tails to escape the egg carrier with Amy, is surprised and confused at Big the Cat being here, and as Big starts fishing Froggy out of Chaos, both Sonic and Knuckles this time start fighting Chaos. The two of them actually get frozen in place by the ice spots during the fight, and Eggman notices that Chaos can't absorb the part of Knuckles that is frozen, willing to settle for the rest of him. Sonic then force feeds Chaos the Eggman ice bots instead to freeze Chaos solid, and then they both free themselves from the ice, with Sonic doing it by moving his legs really fast when they should be too restrained by the ice to do that. And Eggman lampshades how ridiculous it is that Chaos being defeated randomly destroys his egg carrier. Sonic is surprised by Big stealing the biplane on him, although to be fair, he did need that. And then they have it make more sense, as instead of Sonic jumping off the airship somehow knowing that it won't kill him, Sonic grabs onto Knuckles as he glides off the egg carrier. Knuckles returns to the Mystic Ruins in search of the Master Emerald shards, and Sonic returns to Station Square, with Eggman having some suspicious blue ooze on his Eggmobile, Chaos. So that's how it's explained that Chaos escaped the egg carrier. So this story was written by Carl Bollers and Ken Penders, and was mostly faithful to Sonic Adventure's plot, which is not a compliment as I already know its plot, so I'll compliment any originality it has, because it was boring otherwise, which included Nicole somehow translating a book about the echidnas being destroyed by Chaos for Nate and Sally at the library. Wait, who survived to write that historical account? Who witnessed it and lived, aside from the Chow and Tikal? Also, what's with Sally's twig neck? But anyways, the story trims down a few things, like it makes it so that there's only one tornado ride to the egg carrier, completely skipping to Tornado 2, rather than having Tails have to get an emerald and get the plane improved by himself. Knuckles doesn't act like a gullible moron to fight Sonic. Instead, Tails just trips with some emerald shards, and Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are all buddies. I really liked the creative way Sonic and Tails worked together to create a glass prison for Chaos, even if he broke out of it immediately. Because just the fact that they can create that together is interesting. I also like the egg carrier rising out of a river with Big in it. Big probably just smelled the oil and Gamma, and that was his scent trail to lead him to it. Sonic and Tails avoiding missiles to land on the egg carrier was cool, as was the threat of the egg carrier drilling through the mountain, making Station Square no longer hidden, although Sonic shouldn't have guessed there was no landing gear in this mode so easily. And that little snag was just as pointless as in the game because they don't exactly get inconvenienced by the rough landing. From this point onwards, the story is exactly like in the original game. Except Sonic and Knuckles both fight Chaos on the egg carrier together, and work together to escape a safer way than Sonic just jumping right off it. So yeah, I'd say this was better than the original story in SD1. To make the story easier to follow, it had events put in chronological order, aside from Gamma's creation being shown after he got the frog. And they cut out a lot of filler, like Amy dragging Sonic to Twinkle Park, and practically all of Big's fishing, and Sonic and Tails being separated in general. I liked it. Next up is issues 83 to 87.